My sister didn't get into a single one of her dream schools, and I'm living for it. My dad took my college fund 3 years ago. $22,000 my grandma left me when she died. He said Madison needed it more because she wasn't naturally academic like me. Translation: I got straight A's and she barely passed algebra twice. Madison spent all of high school partying, 3 nights a week at least. She'd stumble in at 2 in the morning reeking of vodka, and dad would make her eggs and toast. I'd come home from closing shift at McDonald's at 11, and he'd lecture me about time management. Junior year, I asked dad about my college fund. Just wanted to know it was still there. He got this weird look on his face and told me we'd discuss it later. That discussion never happened. 2 months later, Madison failed her chemistry final. Dad hired her a private tutor for $80 an hour, twice a week. When I mentioned I could use help with calculus, he told me to watch YouTube videos. Senior year, Madison announces she's applying to Princeton. Dead serious. Her GPA was 2.4, maybe 2.5 if you round it up. Dad hired her a private counselor, $2,000 up front. This woman came to our house every Saturday to help Madison write essays about overcoming adversity. I asked dad for help with application fees. I was applying to 15 schools trying to maximize scholarships. He said I should have saved my McDonald's money better. So I filled out scholarship applications at midnight during my breaks, eating yesterday's fries, while Madison got a professional counselor and dad's credit card. The family pretended Madison was some misunderstood genius. At Thanksgiving, my aunt asked about college plans. Dad gave a 10-minute speech about Madison being a creative thinker who didn't fit traditional molds. She got a D in art class. Art. Christmas Day. Madison opened a massive box from dad. Princeton hoodie inside. She squealed and hugged him. He had tears in his eyes, whispering, "I'm so proud of you." I got a $50 Visa card. When my state acceptance came with a full ride, dad said, "That's nice, honey," without looking up. Then went back to helping Madison revise her Princeton essay for the 3rd time. Last week, dad called a family meeting. He had this forced smile that screamed something went wrong. Madison sat in her $200 designer hoodie, the one dad bought for making honor roll once in 4 years. Dad announced Madison made her college decision. Said it like she was choosing between Princeton and Harvard. One school accepted her. Community college. The place accepting anyone with a pulse and checkbook. Not Princeton. Not her backups. Not even her safety schools. Dad tried spinning it. Strategic approach. Smarter financially. She'd transferred to Princeton after 2 years. Madison's face was red. Kept blinking fast, trying not to cry. Mom stared at her wine glass. I asked how many schools total. Dad said not important. Madison whispered 12. 12 schools. 1 acceptance. 11 rejections. Madison started crying. Full breakdown. Admissions rigged against people like her. Wasn't fair. She deserved better. I asked what she meant by people like her. She looked at me with mascara running. People with real potential who don't fit into boxes. The audacity. Dad dropped it then. That $22,000 from my fund, spent over 2 years on Madison's application process, SAT prep courses, private counseling, application fees, campus visits to schools she had no chance at, $11,000 on test prep alone. She still got 1080 on the SAT. Gone. Every penny my grandmother saved. Then dad turned to me. Since Madison's staying local and I got my scholarship and didn't need help, maybe I could lend Madison money to get started. He used the word lend, like I'd ever see it back. Mom nodded, the sisterly thing to do. Madison looked at me with those puppy dog eyes that always worked on dad. For the first time in my life, I said no. Just no. Madison's face changed, like I'd slapped her. Dad said excuse me like he misheard. I repeated it. No. Not lending money, not giving money. She's getting nothing from me. Dad's face turned red. Started going off about family obligation. How family helps family. How I was being selfish and cruel. I stood up. You took $22,000 my grandmother specifically left from my education and burned it on a kid who partied through high school. Madison screamed I was a selfish bitch. Mom told me to calm down. I reminded dad he chose Madison over me every single time. Made me work through high school while she got everything handed to her. He said that was different. Madison needed more support than I did. I asked how that worked out. Nobody answered. Madison locked herself in her room. Dad hasn't spoken to me in 3 days straight. Mom keeps texting I should apologize. But Madison starts community college next month. The same community college I could have gone to for free with my grades. And I'm sitting here on a full ride to state, completely debt-free, watching my sister's princess fantasy crumble into nothing. Dad wasted my inheritance on her failure. And I've never been happier in my entire life.